Okay, so 9.4, we're going to explain and record the sales of fixed asset and trade-in of fixed asset. Okay, so there are 4 steps in disposing a fixed asset. Okay, the first thing that you need to do before you dispose an asset is bring the depreciation up to date. That means kita kena update dulu nilai depreciation for the year. Okay, bring it up to date. Okay, secondly, we need to remove the dispose of asset and associated accumulated depreciation from the books. Okay, maksudnya dekat sini, let's say saya dispose asset equipments. Okay, so the ledger or the accounts for equipments will be removed, and the accumulated depreciation, that is the contract account for the equipment, will also be removed from my books. Okay, so automatically both accounts won't be any longer in the books, in your accounts list. Okay, and the third step is for you to record the value of any cash received or paid in the disposal of the asset. So sebab bila kita dispose tu, let's say we are doing trade-in atau we are selling the asset, so kita akan terima duit, atau mungkin kita kena top up, kita kena tambah sedikit nilai when we are doing trade-in for the asset. So the difference tu you need to pay. Okay, so apa-apa duit yang diterima, any cash received or any cash paid will need to be recorded in the account. Okay, and lastly, the difference between the sales amount and the net book value, okay, will determine whether you are getting a loss or a gain on disposal. So kita akan tengok the net book value of the asset, and we will compare with the amount that we are getting from the disposal. Okay, so the difference between these two amounts is considered as either gain or loss. Okay, so these are the 4 steps you need to follow in order to dispose a fixed asset. Okay, right. So bila kita nak kira gain or loss, that means we're going to calculate using this formula, the cash received, okay, we will minus with the book value. So what is actually book value? As you can see earlier pun I already mentioned, book value tu maksudnya ialah your asset. Okay, your asset cost, you akan minus dengan the accumulated depreciation, the latest accumulated depreciation amount, that brings you to the book value amount. Okay, so let's see the first one. We are going to sell or discard fixed asset at the end of useful life. Maksudnya, let's say the useful life of the asset is 4 years. So towards the end of the 4th year, let's say, okay, tahun ni ialah tahun yang keempat. So towards the end of tahun yang keempat, that will be on the 31st of December 2021. So you are discarding the fixed asset on that day. Okay, so what do I need to do before I can discard the asset? Okay, so we look at example 5. Okay, in example 5, a machine is purchased on January 1st, 2015. Okay, at the price of 25,000. Okay, the estimated useful life is 5 years. So 5 years is the useful life, and there is no salvage value. So the salvage value is equals to 0. Okay, alright. Machine is depreciated using straight line method. That means kita kira sekali saja cukup. We will use the same amount for the consecutive years. So that means the first year from 2015, 2016, 17, 18 and 2020, the depreciation expense remain the same amount. Okay, and then on 31st of December 2019, the machine is discarded without any salvage value. That means kita faham lah, is when it is discarded without salvage value, that means we are discarding the machine, okay, at the end of its useful life. Okay, so sekarang kalau you tengok macam ni, the first thing that you need to do is you need to determine, okay, this machine is using monthly basis or yearly basis. So in this question, it does not mention what basis is used. So kalau dapat soalan dan dia tak mention whether it's yearly basis atau monthly basis, that means dia silent. So we are going to use monthly basis. Alright, okay, so how do we calculate the depreciation expense? Okay, so kalau you tengok dekat sini, we are using straight line, but the rate or the percentage is not given, but you have the value of the asset, you have the salvage value, and you also have the useful life year. So kita boleh terus kira depreciation. So the depreciation expense for 1 year is 25,000, okay, minus 0 is the salvage value, okay, and then kita akan divide dengan dia punya useful life, that is 5 years, okay. So the depreciation expense for 1 year is 5,000. Okay, so how much is the accumulated depreciation? So the useful life untuk aset ni ialah 5 tahun. So that means the accumulated depreciation, sebab kita akan jual towards the end of the useful life. That means after 5 years of usage. So your accumulated depreciation will be 5,000 darab 5. Kan? Sebab dia accumulated every year. So the first year is 2015, and then 2016, 17, 18, and 19. So this one will bring you to the amount of 25,000. So this is actually accumulated from 2015 until 2019. Okay, the thing is, this is for 5 years, but awak kena ingat ya, for the year 2019, that is the year that you want to dispose the asset, kita belum buat any closing entry. We haven't closed our account yet. So bila kita belum buat closing, that means depreciation expense untuk tahun 2019 belum pernah dicatat dekat mana-mana. So the first thing that you need to do before you dispose the asset is to do the adjusting entries, sebab after you do the adjusting entry journals, then only the value can be added into your accumulated depreciation account. Sebab kita tengok tadi kan, the first step is that you need to bring the depreciation up to date. Kenapa saya tak buat catatan untuk 2015, 16, 17 dan 18? Kita kena faham, when I am already in 2019, that means 2015 the accounts already closed, the closing has been done, 16 has been done as well, 17 pun dah buat, 18 pun dah buat. Tapi 19 tak buat lagi sebab sekarang ni I belum tutup account, I just want to discard my asset. So the first thing that I need to do, I need to do the adjusting entries untuk pastikan the depreciation expense is brought up to date. Okay, so sekarang yang akan saya catat, the first thing that you need to do is the date, that is on the 31st. Kebetulan tarikh itu adalah tarikh closing, tapi before you do the closing, you akan discard dulu asset. Okay, so sekarang ni bila saya nak catat general journal untuk depreciation, I will debit depreciation expense for the machine, and I will credit accumulated depreciation for that particular machine as well. Okay, so nilai yang kita akan catat ialah for the current year, that is for 2019. So dalam your ledger, the accumulated depreciation, dia dah ada balance brought forward from last year, that is 20,000. Dah ada ya. So now when I already bila saya dah catat dalam journal, this 5,000 will be accumulated with the balance brought forward earlier. So earlier in the accumulated depreciation account ada 20,000. So now bila I catat yang ni, barulah kita boleh declare the accumulated depreciation, okay, for that particular asset, okay, to bring up to date is 25,000. 20 balance brought forward, and 5,000 is the depreciation expense for the current year. So lepas you dah bring the depreciation expense to date, okay, up to date, baru kita boleh dispose. So now bila saya nak dispose, I need to close the machine, okay, the ledger for the machine, and automatically the contra akan ikut sekali. So contra for the machine is the accumulated depreciation account. So bila kita beli asset, you will debit asset. So asset bertambah. But now I am in the process of closing the machine account. So instead of debiting, I akan credit. Okay, so kita discard without any payments. Okay, so we will debit accumulated depreciation and then we will credit machine. Okay, so earlier as I mentioned, kita akan tutup account machine, so we will credit machine. Okay, and for normal transaction, selalunya kita akan credit accumulated depreciation account. But if you are to close the account, that means the entry will be vice versa, terbalik lah. Okay, the opposite of it. Sebab we are closing the machine, so kita akan debit the contra, so that we will close the amount, and the amount is 25,000. So automatically the ledger akan jadi kosong. Alright, so a machine that is purchased on January 1st 2015, okay, and then you discard the machine on 31st December 2019. Okay, so the first entry up here, okay, this is when you want to bring the depreciation expense to date. Okay, kenapa saya kena catat? Sebab I am using monthly basis. Bila you guna monthly basis, you akan kira sehingga tarikh sebelum dispose. Tapi kalau saya guna yearly basis, do I have this entry? Kalau guna yearly, tidak ada entry untuk ini. Kenapa? Sebab when we are using the yearly basis, okay, the year of the disposal tidak ada sebarang depreciation expense. So that means you punya accumulated depreciation is until 2018 only. That means your depreciation accumulated depreciation is only 20,000. So nanti bila awak buat disposal, okay, the entry for disposal, this is the entry for disposal, dia akan ada difference sikit lah between the harga aset asal dengan harga selepas dengan nilai accumulated depreciation. So dekat situ you akan tengok sama ada you dapat loss ataupun gain. Okay, so that is when we are using monthly basis. So bila monthly basis, you need to calculate the depreciation expense sehingga tarikh you dispose the asset. Okay, alright. And now we're going to look at B. Okay, let's say a machine is purchased on January 1st, 2015 and the amount is 25,000. Okay, and the estimated useful life is 5 years and there is no salvage value as well. Okay, okay, the machine is depreciated using straight line method. Okay, but on the 31st of December, okay, earlier in A, dalam soalan A, I discard. Discard maksudnya saya buang. Okay, tapi this question B, I tak buang, but we are selling the machine. The machine is sold for the amount of 2,500. That means I will be getting 2,500 in cash. Okay, so how do we go about with the entry? Okay, the first thing that you need to do, you tengok dalam soalan, the question is silent kan? So it does not mention what basis you are using. So since the question is silent, the basis that we are going to use is monthly basis. Okay, so the depreciation expense as usual, you need to calculate for 1 year. Okay, so the depreciation expense here is 25,000. Okay, minus 0 because your salvage value is 0. Okay, there is no salvage value. Okay, and then kita akan divide by the useful life given, that is 5 years. So kita dapat the depreciation expense for 1 year, that is 5,000. Okay, so how much is the accumulated depreciation? So you have it for 5 years, right? Okay, and you are discarding, you are selling the asset towards the end of the useful life period. So your accumulated depreciation is also 25,000, the same value as the when you required the asset. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, kita kena tengok whether we are getting any gain or loss. Sebab here you are selling the asset. So bila you are selling the asset, you are the cash received. Okay, so cash received in this question is 2,500. Okay, and kita akan minus dengan book value. Okay, what is book value? Book value ialah asset cost minus accumulated depreciation. So your asset cost you 25,000. Okay, and the accumulated depreciation to the date is also 25,000. So that means here your cost, your book value is actually 0. Okay, so cash received is 2,500 minus book value, which is 25,000 minus 25,000. So that means by selling the asset at the price of 2,500, I am getting a gain on disposal, okay, with the amount of 2,500. So when you have this, you need to record in your journal as well. Okay, the first thing that you need to remember, ini ialah monthly basis. So bila monthly basis, I need to update my depreciation expense to the date. So untuk tahun 2019 belum pernah catat lagi, so I need to do the entry first. So the item is already with me, okay, the machine is already with me since January, and it is depreciated until 31st of December. That means for 12 full months. Okay, so that means that particular year the depreciation expense is 5,000 ringgit as well. Tapi tak pernah catat lagi kan? So you kena catat dulu to make sure that the 5,000 ringgit will be added into your accumulated depreciation account. Okay, so kita akan debit. Okay, on 31st of December 2019, kita akan debit depreciation expense for that machine, 5,000 ringgit. Okay, and we will credit accumulated depreciation. Okay, this entry here is to update the depreciation expense value. Okay, so that it will bring the 5,000 into your accumulated depreciation. Okay, so contoh dia sebenarnya, okay, just for you to be like just for you to understand. Okay, so let's say this is your accumulated depreciation ledger. Okay, so beginning of 2019, okay, on 1st of January 2019, you have the CF balance, right? BF balance. Okay, the BF balance is actually taken from 2015, 16, 17, 18. So you already have here 20,000. Tapi if I were to close this account, that means saya akan tutup pada tarikh saya dispose. Okay, when is the tarikh of the disposal? Tarikh of disposal is 31st of December. So you see here, sepatutnya selepas tarikh disposal, okay, my accumulated depreciation should be 25,000. Tapi dekat sini tak nampak kan? Sebab you tak pernah catat lagi yang ni. Okay, sebab kita tahu you will only post the entry in your journal to your ledger after you did the entry. So sekarang bila saya dah buat entry ni, baru I can post it to my ledger. So on the 31st of December, then only I will have depreciation expense here with the amount of 5,000. So barulah kita boleh close this account at the amount of 25,000. Even though I can do it by using only calculations, but you must remember this 25,000 is actually balance brought forward from earlier, which is 20,000, and for the current year, okay, the depreciation expense is 5,000 ringgit. So that actually brings you to the amount of 25,000. Sebab tu kita perlu ada catatan ini. Okay, alright. So now I am disposing the asset. So bila kita dispose, dua basic thing that you need to close ialah satu, account asset, yang kedua ialah kontra dia, which is the accumulated depreciation. Okay, so I will have this entry. Yang ni wajib ada, mesti ada, sebab you are closing the account, you are disposing the account, the asset. That means account dia akan tutup lah. Alright, so I will debit the accumulated depreciation, okay, with the amount of 25,000, and then I will credit my machine. Yang ni basic mesti ada 25,000 as well. Tetapi this time around I am not discarding the asset, but I am selling the asset. So bila you sell, duit masuk, so that means kita akan debit cash. Okay, so bila you debit cash, that is why kita ada plus 2,500 here. So kalau you nampak dekat sini, on the debit side you have 27,500, tapi on the credit side you only have 25,000. So tak balance kan? So the difference between these two is actually gain. Kenapa gain? Sebab yang tak cukup atau yang tak balance tu ialah di sebelah credit. Okay, nilai yang tak cukup tu ialah 2,500, right? Okay, so kalau dia berada di sebelah debit, that will be expenses. Okay, so bila dia expenses, it is actually loss, rugi. Rugi tu dianggap seperti kita berbelanja kan, duit keluar. Okay, tapi bila kita dapat untung, that is actually revenue. That's why on the credit side here, it is actually gain on disposal. Okay, ataupun in BM we call it as laba atas pelupusan, something like that. Alright, so here is actually catatan to dispose the asset, but by selling it. Okay, earlier in contoh A, I discard the asset without any additional activities. That means buang terus. So bila buang, you tak dapat apa-apa cash. So you just close the account for accumulated depreciation and then close the account for machine. But this time around, instead of discarding the asset, I am actually selling it. So bila kita sell, okay, at the same time you dispose the asset, you receive money, you receive cash. So cash tu pun kena catat. So bila jumlah di sebelah debit, okay, melebihi jumlah di sebelah credit, that means you are getting gain on disposal. So here we are actually recording the disposal of the machine, and also we are recording the gain on disposal. Okay, all right. Okay, next we're going to look at selling fixed asset before end of useful life. Okay, I will explain this part using example 6. Okay, a machine is purchased on January 1st, 2015 for 25,000. Okay, the estimated useful life is 5 years. Okay, so this is the cost of the asset. Alright, useful life is 5 years and there is no salvage value. That means salvage value equals to 0. The machine is depreciated using straight line method. Okay, this is a method for depreciation. And on January 1st, 2017, okay, so that means after 2 years of using the machine, it is sold for 20,000. So you can see here, alright, the useful life is 5 years, but since we are doing selling fixed asset before end of useful life, that means we are selling this item before it reaches 5 years of useful life. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, you need to determine what basis we are using. So since this question is also silent, so that means we are using monthly basis. Right? Okay, so kita kira depreciation dulu. Okay, so depreciation as usual, it is straight line, but there's no percentage given, but we have the info for useful life and also for the salvage value. So depreciation will be 25,000, okay, minus 0, okay, and then divide by 5. Right, so 5 is actually referring to 5 years of useful life. Okay, so the depreciation for 1 year ialah 5,000. Okay, so you have the depreciation for 2015. Okay, this is 5,000. Okay, and then on 2016 we have another depreciation expense that is 5,000 as well. So by the end of 2016 we already have 10,000 in the accumulated depreciation accounts. So this will be carried to 2017 as balance brought forward, balance BF. Okay, so accumulated depreciation to the date, okay, that is on 1st January 2017 ialah 5,000 times 2 equals to 10. Alright, okay, so now you already know the depreciation expense for 1 year, and then you already know the accumulated depreciation to the date. Okay, so kita perlu tak buat adjustments. Okay, the date of the selling is on January 1st 2017. That is between 1st until 15 of the month. Okay, so kalau kita guna monthly, there won't be any depreciation expense for January and for the year 2017. So bila buka saja accounts on 2017, the first day of 2017, we are already selling the item. That means we do not need to update the depreciation expense for 2017. Okay, so kita nak tengok whether we are getting a gain or loss. Kita akan tengok the cash received minus the asset cost minus accumulated depreciation. So sebab 2017 there is no depreciation expense at all, so accumulated depreciation to the date is only 10,000 here. Okay, so the cash we receive upon the sales, okay, kita jual 20,000. Alright, so kita akan letak 20,000 minus, this is the cost of the actual asset, okay, asset yang lama yang kita beli tu, dan kita minus the accumulated depreciation to the date. Okay, so now kita akan dapat gain of 5,000 ringgit. So that one will appear in your journal entry. Okay, so what do I need to what do I need to record in my journal? Okay, sebab yang ini your you do not have to declare any depreciation expense for 2017, so there won't be any depreciation expense entry. So kita just terus proceed kepada disposal entry. Okay, kenapa saya tak buat depreciation expense entry? Because tujuan kita buat depreciation expense entry tu kalau kita nak declare belanja susut nilai tahun semasa, so that bila kita dah journalize the susut nilai, okay, so kita akan bring that balance to bring that amount to your accumulated depreciation, so that we can bring the accumulated depreciation kepada balance terkini. Tapi untuk soalan ni, sebab 2015 account dah tutup, you have the beginning balance of 5,000. 2016 pun account dah tutup, we have the ending balance of 10,000. So bila dia bawa ke tahun 2017 on 1st of January, so dia punya balance BF is 10,000, and on the day that we open this accounting period for 2017, hari yang sama juga kita jual. So kita jual on the 1st until 15 for the month, so that means there won't be any depreciation expense for that particular month. So kita terus proceed untuk disposal entry. So kalau kita nak dispose, ada dua benda yang kita kena buat. Alright, satu, you need to close the machine ledger. You need to close the machine account. Okay, sebab bila kita nak jual aset tersebut, maksudnya aset tu is no longer with you. So account machine akan tutup. Jadi kalau account machine akan tutup, kita akan credit machine, and automatically dia punya kontra pun akan tutup, which is the accumulated depreciation account. So you tahu kan dekat your accumulated depreciation tadi, you ada 10,000 ringgit. Okay, so these two mesti ada. So you must have one item debited, that is accumulated depreciation for the machine, and then you have another item credited, that is your machine. Okay, tapi machine nilai dia is 25,000, mesti pada harga you beli. Okay, but accumulated depreciation bukan 25 ya, sebab kita jual sebelum tamat usia guna. Okay, before the end of the useful life. So that means dia belum disusut nilai keseluruhan, so hanya sehingga 10,000 saja. That means dia masih tak balance tau. So that is where you get to determine whether you are getting a loss or a gain. Okay, and at the same time, sebab kita jual and you receive this amount of money, 20,000, so that means 20,000 will be debited into your cash account. So sekarang ada dua benda kita kena debit. One is your accumulated depreciation, the second one is your cash account. Okay, so bila kejadian ini berlaku, it's on the 1st of January 2017. Okay, so account yang kita akan debit ada dua. Alright, so kita akan debit cash and kita akan debit accumulated depreciation. Alright, so our cash here, as stated in the question, is 20,000, and your accumulated depreciation yang terkini is 10,000. Okay, so you can see here on the debit side, you have the amount of the total of 30,000 ringgit. Okay, so sekarang kita tengok apa account yang kita akan creditkan. So I already told you we are closing the machine. Okay, we are selling the machine, that means we are closing the account as well. So kita akan credit machine. Okay, kita akan credit machine with the amount of 25,000. Okay, alright. So machine dekat sini ialah 25,000. Okay, so you boleh tengok dekat sini. Alright, on the debit side you have a total of 30,000, on the credit side you have a total of 25,000. So tak balance kan, and there is no any other accounts need to be debited or credited at this point. Okay, so sekarang ni saya nak bagi balance. Okay, and saya tahu yang didebitkan tadi ialah 30,000 and dikreditkan tadi 25,000. That means kita perlu top up another 5,000 on the credit side. Since it's in the credit column, so that means it's revenue. Okay, so 5,000 tu apa sebenarnya? Okay, you dah kira dekat atas ni tadi kan? Even without the calculations, you can show me that 5,000 in your journal. Okay, sebab 5,000 tu is the difference. Okay, the discrepancy between the debit column and the credit column. So sekarang ni yang kurang ialah di sebelah kredit 5,000. So sebab dia revenue, so that means 5,000 tu ialah gain on disposal. So you can see here you have two accounts debited, okay, and another two accounts credited. And this one you dapat melalui pengiraan. Okay, it's either you do the calculation macam dekat atas ni, atau you just now you nampak ada kekurangan kan. So kalau dia kurang di sebelah debit, dia akan jadi loss. Tapi sebab dia kurang di sebelah credit, you need to top up supaya nilai dia sama 30,000 kiri dan kanan, debit and credit. That means that 5,000 is on the credit side, it is your gain on disposal. Maksudnya bila saya dispose aset ini dengan menjual menjual pada harga 20,000, saya dapat untung atas pelupusan sebanyak 5,000 ringgit. That will be my gain on disposal. Okay, alright, we look at B. Okay, another question. Okay, so this machine, okay, this is a new question. It has nothing to do with the previous ones. Okay, so machine yang ni sama juga, beli 2015 on the 1st with a price of 25,000. Okay, so sekarang ni dia ada useful life yang sama, and there is no salvage value. That means the salvage value is 0. Okay, and then the machine is also depreciated on a straight line method, tetapi tarikh dijual is a bit different, because this one we are going to sell it on January 1st 2018. Okay, and kita jual pada harga RM8,000 menggunakan check. So that means you are going to receive the check from your buyer. Okay, so the catatan nanti di debit bukan cash lagi lah, that will be bank. Alright, okay, so the first thing that you need to do is show me the depreciation expense calculation, and also bring the accumulated depreciation to the date. Okay, so depreciation expense macam biasa ialah 25,000 tolak kosong. Okay, and then kita akan bahagi dengan 5. Okay, so depreciation expense untuk setahun ialah 5,000. Okay, so you ada depreciation expense untuk 2015, depreciation expense untuk 2016, depreciation expense untuk 2017. So this is 5,000, this is 5,000, and this is also 5,000. This is depreciation expense. So when this is when all of these are accumulated, so that means pada 1 hari bulan 1 2018, your balance BF untuk accumulated depreciation will be 15,000. Okay, so itu baki akhir 2017 dibawa ke 2018. So pada 1 Januari 2018, that 15,000 is your balance brought forward from the previous adjustments lah. Okay, so accumulated depreciation pada 1 hari bulan 1 2018 ialah 15,000. Okay, so this is how I get my 15,000. Okay, so perlu tak saya buat adjustment untuk declare depreciation expense? Okay, saya jual 1 Januari, so this is between 1st until 15. That means on January there won't be any depreciation calculation. This is silent, right? So bila silent pun maksudnya kita masih guna monthly. Alright, so kalau guna monthly, you need to really calculate until the date lah. Okay, tapi sekarang ni 1 Januari tak termasuk. So January tak termasuk dalam depreciation. So do I need to do previous entry? No need. Sebab kita faham sekarang saya dah berada di 2018. So apa-apa yang dah berlaku pada hujung 2017 telah pun dicatat dalam adjusting entries. So you do not need to declare using any journal entries for 2018. So kita akan proceed terus kepada catatan disposal. Okay, so we can calculate the gain or loss. Okay, so your cash receipt is 8,000. Okay, harga aset masih sama 25,000, and then kita akan minus dengan 15,000 the accumulated depreciation yang you kira dekat sini tadi. Alright, so here as you can see kita dapat loss of 2,000 ringgit. Okay, okay, so bila loss, that means you akan catat dia berbeza sedikit dalam journal. Okay, so apa item yang kita akan catat dalam journal untuk disposal? Okay, kita receive duit dalam bentuk check, that means kita akan debit bank 1. Okay, we are closing the machine account, that means machine akan credit, and dalam masa yang sama accumulated depreciation dia akan debit, sebab kita akan tutup machine dan kontra dia. So debit ada 2 account, which is debit bank and debit accumulated depreciation for machine, and credit ada 1 account, that is machine, with a value of 25,000. Okay, alright. So macam mana nak buat journal? So the date for this transaction is on the 1st of January 2018. Okay, so ada dua account yang didebitkan. Satu ialah account bank and the other one is accumulated depreciation for that machine. So bank is 8,000 and machine accumulated depreciation for machine is 15,000. So dah tak ada account yang nak didebitkan. So kalau you tengok dekat sini, you have a total of 23,000. Okay, so kita akan tengok di sebelah kredit. Okay, di sebelah kredit ni kita ada satu account which is your machine. Okay, so nilai dia ialah 25,000, 25,000. Okay, so ada lagi tak account nak dikreditkan? Tak ada. So you see here on the debit side you have 23,000, on the credit side you have 25,000. Tak balance. Okay, so that means you kena top up di sebelah debit. Okay, but based on the calculation done earlier, kita tahu memang kita akan dapat loss 2,000. So loss 2,000 tu kalau kita faham loss, that means I akan debit. Tapi even without the calculations, once saya dah catat semua journal dekat sini, I can see that my debit side is not enough, kan? Not sufficient to top up to the total of 25,000. That means I kena tambah another 2,000 dekat sini. So since 2,000 tu berada di sebelah debit, so it is considered expenses, that is actually your loss on disposal. Okay, so bila kita dah tambah 2,000 tu, baru kita nampak sebelah debit is 25,000 and sebelah credit is 25,000 as well. Okay, so barulah boleh balance. So this will be the disposal for the machine. Okay, and at the same time you are recording the loss on disposal. Okay, boleh tak nak catat explanation yang pendek sikit, yang simple sikit? Sebenarnya boleh. Okay, sebab what we are doing in this question is actually disposal. So gain and loss tu sometimes is subject to the numbers given lah, right? So you can actually just write to record disposal of machine. Okay, you tak mention loss ke gain pun, it doesn't matter, because what we are doing in this journal is actually to record disposal of asset. Okay, but please mention what asset. Okay, instead of just writing it as to record disposal of asset, you must write it as to record disposal of what asset? Of machine, of equipments, of vehicles. Okay, itu contoh lah. Alright, okay, so you tengok dekat sini. Okay, this is how we calculate our gain ataupun loss if you are doing a trade in. Okay, so tadi for example 6, okay, saya dah tunjukkan how you dispose the asset by selling it. Okay, so now on the third part, okay, kita akan tengok trade in. Okay, so dekat sini kita dah start another type of disposal, that is trade in, alright, ataupun exchange. Okay, so you have three ways of disposing an asset. One is you discard buang. Okay, you sell, you jual, tapi you tak ada apa-apa, dah lah tinggal lepas tu, but you get the money instead. And then another one is trade in. Trade in, that means you tukar yang lama dengan yang baru. Okay, so bila ada this difference, okay, ada discrepancy between the selling price and the trade-in value and the new assets price, kita kena top up, kita kena bayar lah. Sebab tu untuk trade-in, you akan nampak terms cash paid. Dia tak sama dengan tadi ya. Tadi yang ni ialah cash receive, sebab kita jual, kita dapat duit. Yang ni kenapa dia cash paid? Sebab you jual barang lama you dekat orang tu dan you ambil barang yang baru daripada dia. Okay, so logiknya barang yang baru harga mestilah lebih mahal dari barang yang lama. So bila kita jual satu barang lama, kalau harga barang lama tu tak mencukupi untuk membeli barang yang baru, that means kita akan top up dengan cash. That's why kita ada cash paid. Okay, alright. So cash paid ni macam mana nak kira? Cash paid ni kita dapat, okay, nilai dia daripada the new asset that you are going to buy. You akan minus dengan trade-in value. Okay, so trade-in value ni maksudnya berapa nilai aset lama you yang pembeli tu sanggup ambil. Contoh, kita ada satu kereta lama, kita nak tukar, kita ada satu Myvi lama, kita tak nak, kita nak tukar, kita nak beli Honda City contohnya. So you ambil kereta you tu, bawa pergi Honda dan you nak jual sebab you nak ambil yang baru. Okay, so katakan the Honda sanggup ambil kereta lama you tu pada harga 20,000. Okay, and harga kereta baru you ialah 80,000. Alright, so that 20,000 is your trade-in value. Okay, yang 80,000 tu ialah harga aset baru. So kalau harga aset baru 80,000, the trade-in value iaitu harga Myvi buruk tadi tu 20,000. Okay, so my cash paid, the one that I need to pay to top up untuk dapatkan aset yang baru tadi ialah 80,000 minus 20,000. So my cash paid is actually 60,000. So you need to top up another 60,000 to get the new Honda. Okay, so that is how you calculate your trade-in value. Okay, so kita tengok number 3. Okay, exchange of fixed asset. So we are using example 7. Okay, Ronald trade in old machine with a new machine. Okay, on 31st of December 2010. Ini tarikh pelupusan. Okay, it's disposal date. Okay, cuma dia dispose dalam bentuk trade-in. Okay, the cost of new machine is 8,000. Ini harga mesin baru. Okay, this is new. Okay, the cost of the old machine is 20,000. Yang ni harga old machine. Mesti tengok macam, harga old machine lagi mahal lah. Sub-soy lah, no need to pay. No, you need to find the net book value dulu, baru kita boleh tentukan sebenarnya kita kena top up ataupun tidak. Alright. Okay, the yearly depreciation expense ialah 5,000. Okay, dia dah bagi so kita tak perlu kira. And the accumulated depreciation until the date of the disposal amounted to 15,000. Okay, dia dah bagi tahu anda. Sebab apa dia bagi tahu? Sebab kalau you perasan dalam soalan ni, dia tak bagi tahu bila dia beli. Kan? So bila dia beli tu penting sebab saya nak kira accumulated depreciation. But in this question, the date is not given. So instead of giving you the date, okay, dia bagi kamu the accumulated depreciation to the date. Maksudnya, aset tersebut telah dibeli dan telah digunakan selama 3 tahun. Betul tak 3 tahun? Sebab depreciation expense for 1 year is 5,000. So that means 5,000 plus 5,000 plus 5,000. Okay, so kalau saya nak jual aset tu, saya kena tolak dengan accumulated depreciation with the amount of 15,000. This one. Okay, alright. So sebenarnya bila dia beli aset ni? So kalau kita tengok 3 tahun, that means dia beli aset ni sebab dia nak jual 2010. Okay, dia nak jual 31st December 2010. Okay, 2010 is end of the year. So soalan ni silent kan? So bila soalan ni silent, that means we are using monthly basis. So monthly basis maksudnya kita akan kira sehingga tarikh awak jual. So you jual on the 31st. That is between 16 to 31st of that particular month. So maksudnya depreciation sehingga 31 Disember 2010. And dia bagi tahu to the date is 15. That means yang ini 5,000. Okay, 31 12 2009 is 5,000 as well. Okay, 31 12 2008 is 5,000 as well. Ini ialah closing date yang saya letak di sini ialah closing date. So bila sebenarnya dia beli, so kalau kita nak dapatkan one full year of depreciation, that means sebenarnya tarikh dia beli ialah 1 hari bulan 1 2008. Sebab tu bila bawa ke 31st of December 2018, it's a full month of 12 upon 12, that means the depreciation is 5,000. Okay, alright. So sekarang yang ni dah closed, that means yang ni dah masuk dalam accumulated depreciation. Yang ni dah close, dah masuk dalam accumulated depreciation. Yang ini belum close lagi ya, sebab you baru nak reach closing date. So you tak pernah lagi catat depreciation expense untuk tahun 2010. Cuma dekat sini dia bagi tahu dia dah tolong kira kan sehingga hujung tahun tu ialah supposed to be 15,000. Tapi 10,000 ni saya dah pernah declare semasa closing. The last part here belum pernah catat lagi. So sebelum saya jual, that means before I do the entry for my disposal, saya kena catat dulu declaration of depreciation expense. That means I need to do the adjusting entries untuk depreciation expense dulu. Barulah 5,000 ni boleh join kawan-kawan dia dekat atas to bring you to the date of 15,000. Okay, 50,000 ni memang kita tahu sebab kita buat berdasarkan pengiraan. Tapi kalau ikut catatan perakaunan biasa, yang dah dicatat hanya 2008 dan 2009 sahaja. 2010 belum pernah catat lagi sebab akaun baru nak tutup. And kebetulan hari akaun nak tutup lah, you sibuk nak jual mesin. Okay, so sekarang the first thing that you need to do, declare or do the adjusting entries untuk depreciation expense dahulu. Lepas tu baru dispose. Sebab you need to have this entry so that you can post the entry to your ledger and bring the accumulated depreciation to the CF balance of 15,000. Okay, alright. So sekarang kita nak kira trade in value tu dan juga kita nak kira dia punya gain or loss. Okay, so trade in value is how much? My trade in value is my trade in value is 4,000. Dalam soalan dia bagi kan, this is the trade in value. Trade in value tu dia tak bagi you duit you kena faham. Kita bukan dapat cash, tapi itu adalah nilai pertukaran. So aset lama tu diambil pada nilai 4,000. So kalau saya nak beli sesuatu yang lebih dari 4,000, I need to top up. That's why you need to find the cash bit. Okay, alright. So aset you yang lama harga 20,000, accumulated depreciation harga 15,000, jumlah 15,000, sorry. Okay, so here you get a loss of 1,000 ringgit. So that means 1,000 ni akan berada catatan di sebelah debit. Okay, so the first thing I need to do untuk soalan ni, ada two sets of journals. Okay, one is to do or to update my depreciation expense value. Lepas tu baru boleh catat disposal. Okay, alright. So I need to find my cash bit sebab saya nak catat dalam journal. So nilai aset baru is how much? Nilai aset baru ialah 8,000. Berapa nilai trade-in yang dia bagi? Nilai trade-in yang dia nak bagi pada kita is 4,000. That means I need to top up another 4,000 in order to get the new asset. Okay, alright. So benda ni berlaku pada 31st of December 2010. So before I do the disposal entry, I need to declare my depreciation expense. Okay, so sekarang kita akan debit. Okay, kita akan debit depreciation expense for the machine, and kita akan credit accumulated depreciation for the machine as well. Okay. Okay, so ini is actually to record depreciation for the machine for the year 2010 before you dispose it. Okay, kalau tak ada catatan ni, 5,000 tu tak boleh join kawan-kawan dia dekat 10,000 tadi tu. Okay, so this is 5,000. and this is also 5,000. Okay, you must remember, this is your accounting cycle. So before you can transfer the 5,000 into your ledger, you need to have the entry in your journal first. Sebab itu memang procedure kan, kita kena journalize dulu baru kita boleh masukkan ke dalam ledger. So now when you already journalize, that means automatically this item, this 5,000 will be accumulated together with the balance brought forward, that is 10,000. So now until the date you want to dispose the asset, dalam accumulated depreciation for the machine ada balance 15,000. Okay, alright. So now I want to dispose my asset. Okay, so apa yang saya akan debit? Okay, saya nak dispose asset, that means saya akan debit accumulated depreciation. Okay, this is one. Lepas tu tadi I kira saya dapat loss kan? Okay, so loss tu mestilah berada di sebelah debit. So it's loss on disposal, sebelah debit juga. And then dalam masa yang sama saya beli aset baru. So bila saya beli aset baru, that means saya akan debit machine. Okay, dengar betul-betul I beli aset baru, that means I have a new machine, still under the name of machine lah. Okay, sebab machine tu bukan, that means referring to one particular machine you have a lot of machines in your business. So everything will be calculated or will be put into one ledger. Alright, so here kita tag by here, sorry. Okay, so here kita tag machine new. Okay, so nampak dekat sini it's new. Alright, okay, boleh tak nak tulis new? Boleh kalau you memang cekap. So you just write machine without the new, that means you know this is referring to new machine. Cuma masalahnya you belum begitu cekap, so might as well you tag it. Okay, so you know this is actually referring to the new machine that you are going to buy. Okay, alright, so apa yang kita akan credit? Kita nak tutup machine lama kan? So kita nak tutup machine lama, that means you akan credit machine. Okay, and this is the old machine. So all these three is catatan sebelah debit, and this one is catatan sebelah credit. Okay, alright. So your accumulated depreciation, macam kita kira tadi, is 15,000. Your loss on disposal ialah 1,000. Your new machine just now, the price is 8,000. Okay, alright. Your old machine yang awak nak jual, okay, according to the question, okay, the amount is 20,000. Alright, so kalau awak nampak dekat sini, actually ada satu lagi yang you belum catat, that is your cash paid. So bila cash paid, kita faham duit tu keluar, that means cash mesti berada di sebelah credit. Okay, and the amount here is 4,000. Ini yang awak kira tadi. So this item diterbitkan sendiri this 4,000 ringgit bukan ada dalam soalan. Okay, kebetulan 4,000 ni sama dengan nilai ini tapi you need to remember this is the trade in value amount, bukan cash paid. Cash paid tu kita kena kira. Kebetulan nilai dia jadi 4,000 juga. So don't get confused. That 4,000 ringgit is not taken directly from the question. It was taken after, it was calculated by using this formula. Okay, so you need to calculate. So nilai cash paid mesti dicari. Okay, so you see here on the credit side, on the debit side, you have 24,000. And the credit side you have 24,000 as well. So that means sebelah debit dan sebelah credit sama lah balance. Okay, so here actually we are recording the disposal of the machine and to record the loss as well. Okay, so kita tengok balik. Yang ini saya catat sebab depreciation for 2010 belum pernah dicatat lagi. So you need to do that first. Tetapi kalau you guna yearly basis, catatan ni tak ada. Kalau yearly basis, kenapa yearly basis tak ada? Sebab kalau guna yearly basis, tahun pelupusan, the year of the disposal, there won't be any depreciation expense. So kalau kata dia nak dispose tahun 2010, that means 2010 tak ada pengiraan depreciation expense. You ambil saja baki daripada 31st December 2009. Okay, yang ni hanya berlaku bila kita buat monthly basis. Monthly basis means dia go very detail until the day you dispose the asset. Yang ini ialah catatan disposal. Okay, so kalau awak tengok catatan disposal, ada dua benda yang setiap kali mesti ada semasa kita catat, which is, satu is accumulated depreciation. Okay, this one. Okay, I put I put in yellow so that you can see it's more vibrant. Alamak, tak nampak terus ya. Okay, put a darker shade. Alright, I'll put it in green. Okay, so you see here, debit accumulated depreciation and credit the asset account. Ini mesti ada. Okay, sebab bila kita dispose, that mean account tu tutup. So bila mak dia tutup, anak dia akan ikut sekali. So credit machine is the account, and accumulated depreciation is the contra. So the contra will be automatically closed together with the asset account. Okay, tapi semasa kita dispose tu ada beberapa event lain yang berlaku lah. Okay, sebelum ni event dia ialah kita jual. So you get the money from your selling process. And here in this part of the question, instead of just selling, I am trading in. Trading in is actually selling juga tau. Cuma kita dah tukar dengan yang ambil lama tukar dengan yang baru. You know, like tilam lama tukar baru. You know, things like that. Alright. So yang ini for selling as well. Tapi duit kita tak dapat sebab kita kena top up nilai aset baru yang kita nak beli. Alright. Okay, so this is how you do question A for number 7. Okay, alright, we look at the next one, the last part of the question. Okay, so Syarikat Ronald trade in an old machine with new machine on December 31st. Okay, so tarikh disposal ialah 31st December of 2010. Okay, machine tu cost dia ialah 10,000. So this is the price that you bought the old machine. Okay, the cost of new machine, this is the price of the new machine, sorry. Okay, and the old machine that you're going to dispose is 20,000. Okay, alright, so yearly depreciation is 5,000 and accumulated to the date. Okay, dia dah bagi tahu siap dah, until the date of the disposal, dia dah ada nilai dia bagi dekat situ ialah 16,000. Okay, so kalau 16,000 ni, that means dia mungkin dah beli lebih awal, bukannya 3 tahun lah, sebab kita tahu kalau setahun is 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, right? So dia ada another 1,000 that belongs to the year. That means you have 2010, 2009, 2008, 2007 dia dah beli. Alright, okay, you don't need to think about that because bila account tu dah tutup, nilai tu dah dibawa ke accumulated depreciation. Okay, so dia dah bagi dekat sini, trade-in value is 5,500. Okay, so accumulated depreciation is 16. Depreciation for 1 year is 5,000. So nilai ni untuk 2010 belum declare lagi. Okay, sebab dia tak mention guna basis apa. That means kita guna monthly. So bila kita nak dispose on 31st of December 2010, so you kena kira depreciation sehingga 31 hari bulan 12. That is 12 upon 12. Okay, nak kira tak ada maklumat yang lengkap tapi dah diberi maklumat di sini, so tak payah kira. So itu saja nilai yang you perlu catat dalam adjustments for depreciation expense. Okay, the first thing that you need to do here is calculate the gain or loss. Alright, okay, ada orang tanya perlu tak kira di luar. Actually kalau kita tak kira di luar pun should be okay, sebab gain or loss tu selalunya bila dalam journal adalah nilai yang awak perlu tambah sama ada sebelah debit atau sebelah kredit untuk mencukupkan jumlah di satu-satu kolom. So contoh macam ni, dua ni memang ada dalam soalan, 20,000 dan 4,000 ni memang kita kira, 15,000 and 8,000 tu memang ada dalam soalan. Okay, so kalau you tak kira pun gain or loss, you tengok sebelah debit you memang kurang 1,000. So actually that 1,000 belongs to sebelah debit. That's why kita tahu dia ialah loss on disposal. That is actually a part of calculation as well. Okay, so even without without showing this part, you still can calculate your loss or gain. Okay, so trade-in value kamu di sini dia bagi ialah 5,500. Okay, alright, so the asset cost, the old asset is 20,000, and the accumulated depreciation given in the question is 16,000, sorry. Okay, so do I get a loss or a gain? Saya dapat gain 1,500. So even without this calculation, towards the end nanti, I still can carry out the amount of 1,500 as a gain. Okay, so how much do I need to top up? Berapa nilai yang saya perlu tambah semasa nak acquire this new asset? So the new asset, the price given in the question ialah 10,000. Trade-in value maksudnya nilai aset lama yang dia nak ambil, dia sanggup beri pada harga 5,500. So yang tak cukup tu, you need to pay for it. It's 4,500. So sebelah kredit, cash nanti nilai dia 4,500. Okay, alright, so the first thing I need to do is put my date first. Okay, date is very crucial, especially when you're doing disposal. Okay, so here is the date is 2010. Okay, and this is December 1st. Right, okay, so apa yang kita akan catat sebelum dispose? Saya kena declare dulu, before I do the closing ya. Saya kena declare dulu depreciation expense untuk tahun semasa. That is debit. Okay, that is debit depreciation expense. Okay, so this is depreciation expense for the machine. Okay, and then kita akan credit accumulated depreciation. Okay, okay, this is also for the machine. So nilai dekat sini ialah 5,000. Alright, okay, so figures ni belongs down here. Okay, so this is actually 5,000. Okay, and this is also 5,000 as well. Okay, alright, so now kita dah ada catatan untuk depreciation expense. Alright, so what is happening here? Okay, so this is actually to record depreciation expense for machine. Okay, alright, so this is the first entry you need to do for this question. Okay, the next one, you are going to have the disposal. Okay, the disposal record. Okay, so I'm going just to make it a bit easier. Okay, so kita akan terus cut and paste. Okay, so what I need to do here is, okay, alright, kita akan debit accumulated depreciation for the machine. Okay, the amount here is 16,000. Okay, alright, so and then kita akan beli new machine. Okay, new machine tu kalau dalam soalan tadi you tengok nilai dia ialah 10,000. Okay, alright, okay, and then kita akan jual mesin lama. Okay, so kita akan jual mesin lama tu pada harga 20,000. Alright, so that is the price of the old machine you need to dispose. Okay, then how much you need to top up? Okay, so saya kena bayar 4,500. Betul kan? Okay, I kena bayar 4,500. So that means cash paid will be 4,500. And please, do not write here cash paid, cash received. There is no such thing as cash paid or cash received. The only ledger we are using is cash. Okay, so kita bayar 4,500. So you nampak dekat sini, okay, sebelah debit is 20,000. Alright, sorry, 26,000. And sebelah credit is 24,500. So kita short of 1,500. So nak jadikan dia sama 26, that means you have another 1,500 on the credit side. So kalau dia on the credit side, that means dia apa? Kalau dia on the credit side, that means it is revenue. So this is gain on disposal. Okay, so here we are actually recording disposal of machine and gain on disposal. So you nampak dekat sini, this is to close the old accumulated depreciation machine. Okay, and this is also to close the old asset account. This is to record the you getting a new machine by trading in. Okay, so kita debit machine new ni, debit beli. Lepas tu you need to pay for it. So that's why cash tu berada di sebelah credit 4,500. So tak cukup sebelah credit with the amount of 1,500. That means that 1,500, even without the calculation, you know it is actually the gain on disposal. Okay, so this is how you record the gain on disposal. Okay, so I hope you can fill up all your notes, okay, and go through all the entries and see how I do with the disposal entries. Okay, so a few things that you must remember. Satu, before you do the question for topic 9, okay, kita kena tentukan dulu, determine the basis we are using. Certain question dia tak state, dia tak bagi tahu. So you need to determine, kalau soalan tu silent, that means the question is using monthly basis. Kalau soalan tu dia mention, that means dia mention lah. Alright, so normally if it doesn't mention anything, that means the question is using monthly basis. Okay, so bila monthly basis, you must remember belanja susut nilai akan dikira sehingga tarikh disposal berlaku. So kenapa sebenarnya kita buat catatan ini? Sebab kita nak pastikan nilai susut nilai itu adalah nilai yang terkini. Supaya nilai terkini itu kita boleh guna untuk kira net book value. Why is the net book value important? Because net book value akan menentukan whether you dapat gain ataupun loss. Okay, so in between the process of disposal, ada beberapa event yang kita boleh buat lah. Sebab dia ada 3 methods to dispose the asset. It's either you discard is very easy because you tak receive money, you don't pay any money. It's just that you are closing the asset account and you are also closing the contra, that is the accumulated depreciation. Okay, kalau kita sell, that means kita receive cash. So mesti ada cash di sebelah debit ataupun bank. Alright, tapi kalau kita trade in is a bit tricky. Trade in, you kena ingat aset yang sama dia ada di sebelah debit dan di sebelah credit. Yang di debit tu adalah new asset, yang di credit tu adalah old asset yang kita nak tutup. Okay, so at the same time you need to close the accumulated depreciation for the old asset. And at the same time, you need to see how much you kena bayar, top up, to get the new machine. And along the way, kita akan tengok ada beza antara sebelah debit dan sebelah credit. That difference is actually your gain or your loss on disposal. Okay, alright, that's all for today. Thank you.